Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1. Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it is so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by. Now, here's JP.
Masami sends a fly ball into center. Phillips will have to go back. It's going to be over his head. Her rating score. Here comes Brandon Lau. He's going to score. Over to third. Wall to double for Masami. And the Rays retake the lead.
You talk about a young player in a big spot being able to hone in and at bat. What a net bat by the young shortstop.
Basabe. That should be our new wake-up call, right? Basabe.
I love it.
Welcome in to the JP Peterson Show on this hump day. Man, we got lots to get to today. I am upbeat. I am happy. I am ecstatic about everything that's going on in the Tampa Bay area. What? You expected to hear some curmudgeon come on here today and be all mad about what's going on? Hell no. You people got me pegged wrong. You got me pegged wrong, folks. Come on. Sure, I'm excited. The Rays are staying in Tampa Bay. Yay.
Yay.
They weren't ever leaving, by the way. Yay.
Yay.
That's what they said in Miami. Yay. Let's spend $2.6 billion for a stadium. Yay. Put it in the wrong area. Yay. No, I'm happy, man. I'm happy. The Rays won last night, which is a big deal, by the way.
Yes.
We haven't really covered the choke job in Baltimore after winning the first two. After winning the first two, and you know, Tyler Glasnow, you want to be a $25 million man? Really? And I love you, brother. I love you. Step up. That was a playoff game, and you got beat around. That was not good. That was not good. And then they blow a lead twice in the Sunday game, which basically ended their hopes of winning the AL East for the most part. But here we go. Big win last night for the Rays. We got tons of great football coming up this weekend. Oh, my God, the Eagles and the Bucs. What a game. We'll start previewing that as well. By the way, my good friend John Kincaid from Philadelphia Radio icon. I'll be going on his show, I believe, tomorrow, and then he'll return the favor on Friday. So really great Philly radio guy. We'll have him on as we get closer and breaking down that game. We got great college football coming up this weekend. Clemson hosting Florida State at noon. And then we got Oregon and Colorado in the 3:30 and other huge games this weekend. So we're going to get into some of that. Leo Haggerty's going to join us today so I can eat my crow and he can eat his chicken wings on that USF moral win that they got.
Yes.
I know Alex Golish doesn't want any moral wins, but I think you'll take that one, partner. So lots to get to. Who else? We got Leo's coming on, and my man Evan El Bushman will come on with this Rays podcast. Got a really good Rays podcast. Been wanting to get him on. He is, I would say, of the opposite view of moi in terms of the stadium. So we will have a nice, spirited and polite debate in that realm. And the king of Pinellas County, by the way, my friend Paul Wilson, actor, media conglomerate extraordinaire, will join us tomorrow.
Wow, nice.
And he will give us a kind of a Pinellas feel for what's going on. So I'm warming up to it. If it does happen, it's still very much out there in terms of will it happen. We've seen a lot of these announcements, but I definitely wanted to get into this early on. And by the way, good morning to you, Peter. How are you?
Good morning, buddy.
Ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready to do this. Let's do it. Let's talk stadium. Let's talk Rays. Let's talk Bucs getting ready for the Eagles this week, next week, Monday Night Football, and everything else that's in the sports world, including college football with our Florida State Seminoles. Hopefully they can do better than against Boston College. Yeah.
No, that's it. This is why you play the games, baby. This is why you love college football.
That's it.
All right, so I'm going to go dive right in here on the stadium thing. Before I get really into this, I want to just set the record straight. And I know a lot of people out there think I'm butthurt about this. I am not butthurt about this at all. I personally am not a big fan of the Trop, right? I'm not a big fan. The artist renderings of this new stadium, I'm as jacked up as you guys are. I want to get in there, have a new stadium, have real amenities, have real premium seating, have the real things that every other baseball fan has had for 20 plus years. I noticed the artist renderings made that field look really good, like it was an actual grass field. It won't be, but it looked good. It looked good. But again, it's an artist rendering. And so will I drive over to Tropicana or the new Tropicana field or whatever we're going to call it? Hell yeah. Will I love being in that new air-conditioned space with the side windows going up? Hell yeah. Absolutely. I'll love every minute of it. I think the tickets are going to be expensive as hell, as will the beers. I'll bring Tally on Doggy Day. She'll be excited about that.
There you go.
But yeah, no, I'm the fact that we're building a new stadium finally, and we can stop talking about building a new stadium is a breath of fresh air for me. You people think I like doing this? You people think I like talking about the stadium all the time? No, I do it because I have to bring a different perspective, because there's a lot of things that nobody ever talks about that we're going to talk about right now, that nobody ever reports, that you don't hear anyplace else, because, Stu has all these media outlets on lockdown, terrified of legal ramifications or whatever. This is what I've been told by many people in the media world. So yeah, they don't report on the lawsuit. They don't report on any of the shenanigans that goes on because they're terrified of being sued. I get it. I don't have any money, so he can't he can sue me. He can get me fired. He can do whatever he wants, but he knows he's not getting any money from me. But I'm going to keep talking the truth. I'm going to keep doing that. And because why? Because I don't want to see what happened to Miami happen to us. Okay. And if you're not familiar with the situation that happened in Miami, Jeffrey Loria, and who I think might be the idol of Stu Sternberg, he pulled the ultimate fast one. He got out of Montreal, right? And then bought the Marlins for a song for $150 million, starting to sound familiar. And then, won a World Series, something Stu has not been able to do, but won a World Series. And then, of course, famously dismantled the team and then falsified documents, allegedly. There was an SEC investigation into their whole scheme, stadium scheme. So something we should probably be looking out for. And all the money that's being spent here, $6.5 billion. It's not just a stadium, folks. It's $6.5 billion, a ton of that public money. So, yeah, I would keep an eye on a lot of what's going on here. So, yes, there were SEC investigations that went on in Miami. And the politicians down there didn't want to lose the team to Broward County, right, where it should have been built in the middle of the market. Sound familiar? Yeah, it should sound familiar. And not only – and they did a deal that's going to end up costing them, the taxpayers of Miami, $2.6 billion to build a stadium in a failed location. Is this starting to sound familiar? Every politician that supported that stadium got voted out of office. Starting to sound familiar? Yeah. It was a disaster. And so now they sit with a nice stadium. That place is beautiful. And I'm sure this new one will be beautiful as well. It's empty. Nobody goes. And the Marlins got a pretty decent team. It's empty. Nobody goes. Okay. Now, they didn't build an entertainment district around it. So that's true. That's something different, right? That will be done here. So I hope that is a driving force for attendance. Typically that stuff doesn't last. It's shiny and it's new. And once it's not shiny and new, people don't go anymore. All right. So the demographics stay the same, but I just want, before I get more into this, I just want it to be on the record. I'm all for it, folks. I love it. I can't wait to get to the entertainment district and enjoy that part of it. And whatever, if it helps downtown St. Pete, fantastic. All that I'm all for it, but it's bad for baseball and it's bad for fans. The reason is because it is horribly short-sighted, because it leaves out probably 2 to 3 million people and more even to the east that will not be able to partake in midweek games. And the other thing it does, folks, is it really precludes the businesses of Tampa and most of the corporations from getting that premium seating and those season ticket sponsorships that are the lifeblood of baseball, that drives your economic engine in order to get payrolls into the average or even above 100 million, which you've never been able to do here. And that keeps your team at a disadvantage. Now, people say, hey, listen, the Rays do that well anyway. That's not going to last forever, folks. But other teams are going to step up and finally get it. But it's horribly short-sighted. Hillsborough County offered more long-term money, but less upfront, only $150 million, Ken Hagan said yesterday. So Stu was like, no, I want to go where I can get the money up front, just like he did with the television deal from Fox Sports. And then he grabbed that money, according to the lawsuit, and allegedly put it into a whole nother company that he owns. That's why his partners are suing him. The Hillsborough bed tax has almost doubled since COVID, so more money would be available long-term. And yes, Tampa has to definitely eat some of this. And I would say, and I love Mayor Castor. I've done many events with her for charity. And I love Bob Buckhorn. I see him all the time. Really good people. Love them personally. But they were strangely never a big factor. They never stepped up like Ken Hagan did. And if you see the new deal in terms of the money, it's $300 million from the city and $300 million for the county. The county was all in. Ken Hagan did everything he could to make this happen. But the mayors were strangely absent. I wonder why that is. Are they beholden to the New York Yankees? Really? That would be short-sighted to me. Very, very short-sighted. But whatever. And again, I love them personally. But I think that if they were standing in front of me, I would sit there and I would hope to have them on the show and ask them why they didn't step up. And maybe it's because they feel that they have to use all that money for the Bucs coming up. And maybe that's it. But nobody's ever really verbalized that. So at least I'd like to hear him say it. Most owners would have done the deal in Hillsborough County in 2018. That's a no-brainer. And Stu led people down that road and really never bargained in good faith with Hillsborough County because, especially most recently, because once Hines became part of this and the developer and he won the developing rights, he's not stupid, folks. Suddenly, the guy who said baseball will never work in downtown St. Pete and said that multiple times, the guy that said this is not a major league market, it can't sustain a baseball team, that guy that's held up redevelopment through three mayors, that redevelopment could have been already going and building a convention center, and it's cost St. Petersburg and Pinellas how many told millions of dollars in increased construction cost. That guy, suddenly, he loves St. Pete. He loves St. Pete. Shocking development. Are you kidding me? Why? Because he's going to get $600 million of public money up front. And he gets development rights. Lord knows what he's getting the land for and what Hines is getting the land for. All that hidden cost and all that money, do you think Stu's going to find a way to get that money into his pocket and away from the taxpayers benefiting? I'm going to say probably. Let's see what the details are. We haven't seen any of the details. I think it's a little irresponsible of all these politicians to run out here and say what a wonderful deal it is when they haven't even shown us what the details are. I think that's a little bit irresponsible. A convention center, again, would have put way more heads in beds and brought way more visitors to the area over the 25, 30, 40-year life of a stadium or a convention center. There's no question about that. Nobody would ever, and that's 2, 3, 4, 5-fold. There's not that many people that are going to come out just from out of market to go to the baseball games. At first, yes, but in the long term, a convention center, and that's all they're doing. Convention center is not your local people going to spend money just in a different area, like baseball mostly is, okay? A convention center is people coming from out of state and bringing money into the area. That's what these tourism tax dollars are supposed to go towards, bringing people from outside to in, not just redistributing the money within the county. So that is to me, that is a fraudulent use of tax dollars, to be quite honest, of that bed tax. Think about that. And I ask, why in the world would you, if you're a taxpayer in Pinellas County, by the way, there's stories out there that they can't fund their libraries in Pinellas County, that there's issues with some of their fundings. There's a lot of things that need to be done in Pinellas County that would be more long-term advantageous for tourism, as I said, the convention center being one of them. But instead, you're going to give $600 million of public money to a billionaire owner who's being sued by his partners for egregious fiduciary fraud. So much so that an appellate court judge, in a very rare instance, overruled a lower court judge and returned that case to a jury trial where they're going to have to do depositions. They're going to have to do discovery. Major League Baseball is going to be involved. You think the commissioner of Major League Baseball wants to have his emails looked into by a bunch of angry ex-partners who have been, they feel, fraudulently defrauded. They have been defrauded of a lot of money, and they're going to have their day in court, or they're going to get a settlement that's going to affect this agreement in some way. Is the city and the county okay doing business with somebody who's accused of in sworn testimony, and clearly a judge agrees there's merit to this case? You're going to do a $6.5 billion project with a guy who's done that and has downgraded your city for so long, told you it's not a major league city, and suddenly he's Santa Claus? You're going to give the biggest public funds giveaway in St. Pete history to this guy. Okay, that's fine. And, listen, this is not personal, folks. I'm just trying that the people of St. Petersburg and Pinellas and the Tampa Bay baseball fans are not wronged, and we end up with what happened in Miami. It's not about me. It's about you. It's about your money. It's about you being a baseball fan. You deserve better. You deserve better. The Rays have done well not having payroll, right? That's not going to last forever. You know what? They've done poorly too. This nice run of 5 years has been fantastic. The majority of Rays baseball years have been really, really lean if you go back and look at the entire thing. And as I said, that doesn't last for long. From a baseball view, folks, if attendance doesn't increase and the revenues don't increase, if what we've seen over the past 25 years holds true and people don't travel during the midweeks and the corporate base does not turn out long term after the shiny new part wears off, you're not going to have that you're still going to be at a payroll disadvantage. So from a baseball standpoint, look what the Braves have done. Look what the Braves did. This is what I'm talking about, folks. The Braves moved from a perfectly good stadium in South Atlanta to where their fans are in Cobb County. It has been a tremendous success from a business standpoint because none of these corporations could give away the tickets at Turner Field. I lived there, folks. I was on the air when we announced the Brave Stadium. We broke this story. I know how that whole sausage was made and why it was made. Okay, and we're keeping it in the same location. We're not moving it to where the fans are. And what did the Braves do? They increased their money, their internal and local revenues, $134 million in 1 year. And then they put the money back into the team, unlike our owner. They put the money back into the team and signed their stars like Acuna and went out and got Matt Olson when we couldn't afford him and stole Charlie Morton because we couldn't afford him. They did that by moving their stadium to where their fans are. Hello, where their fans are, where their businesses are, and built a battery there and got much more revenue coming in. And now look at them. They're the favorites to win the World Series again. They're probably going to win 2-3 over the next 5-7 years. Look at that team. We can't compete with that. No way. Sorry, Rays fans. Can't compete with that. So in the end, this is a horrible deal for Tampa Bay baseball fans. Most of you who still won't be able to get to the games in the midweek and enjoy this wonderful entertainment district and stadium. I'll go. I'll enjoy it. I can't wait. It's going to be fun, especially with new ownership. Well, I'll feel much better, coming out of my pocket. Still a lot of approvals to go, folks. Still a lot of bridges to cross. We've had a lot of these announcements that said the deal was done, and none of them came to fruition. Just remember that. There's a lawsuit that could screw this all up. And I can see, at some point, Stu's going to play victim here and go, oh, my partners are suing me, and it's screwing up this wonderful thing we have going. Beware of that. Beware of that. Mark the tape, Peter. We'll go back to this prediction as well. And then try to put public pressure on these partners to settle their suit. Don't buy into it. Don't buy into it, folks. So there's a lot of road left for this to go down. So am I hopeful that we can stop it and do the right thing? Yes. I don't want to see what happened in Miami, where the owner fleeces the city up front and then sells the team, working with these ego-driven politicians who don't want to lose their team, and you get stuck with a horrible deal. I'm not here to say it's going to be $2.4, $2.6 billion horrible like they did in Miami. And that was a completely corrupt organization, as I said, an SEC investigation into that whole financing deal, which is, by the way, why we need to pay attention to what the details are in this financing. Nobody knows right now. Oh, the Rays are going to pay half, and they're going to pay. Are they? Let's see the numbers. That's just the Rays talking right now. Okay, that's not we haven't seen any documents yet. So, one thing I know, when the Rays come out and say something, usually when you dig into the fine print, it's much different. So let's wait till all that comes out. And maybe in that those fine print is the same deal that they did in Miami. Maybe it's more about enriching the politicians and other people in this deal than it is about getting a stadium. Maybe it's more about what Stu's going to get up front, and he's going to leave us with a horribly located stadium and may not have all the bells and whistles that he says it's going to have. Do you trust him? I don't. I've seen too much. I don't trust him. I've talked to too many people who have dealt with him and have come back shaking their heads. Too many people. So while all you folks out there want to fart confetti over this deal, I'd love to, but I ain't doing it. I've seen this move before. And I'm trying to be your advocate for the fan. Your advocate. Nobody else is going to tell you about this. We're going to try to keep it front and center and keep it real. In the end, let's not have happen what happened in Miami. Here, Stu wins. Hines wins big time. The politicians win. The fans, no. Taxpayers, bend over again. It may not be pretty. Again, I'm not trying to throw a wet blanket on this wonderful party. I'm just saying, let's slow down a little bit. Let's look at the details and see what's really happening here. And don't let happen to us what happened to those morons in Miami. Let's be smarter than that. Let's not get Jeffrey Luria'd.
Okay? That's good. That's very good.
Let's be smarter.
All right, let's go out to the poll that we put out there yesterday on the JP Peterson Show X or Twitter. Are you excited about the Go Rays Stadium announcement? Yes, 43.4%. No is the clear winner with 852 votes. No, it should be in Tampa at 51.1%. And wow. I have to see it at 5.5%. So thanks a lot for participating in the poll yesterday.
Let me hear that again, partner. Let me hear that again.
51.5% believe that it should be in Tampa, and only 43% are excited about it being in St. Pete again. So,
wow. Let me just ask you this. Watching all the media coverage last night on TV and reading all the media coverage, is that the sense you get? That most of the people in Tampa Bay don't like this idea? No. You would think that there was 99% yays. It's not the case, folks. It's not the case. There's a lot of people out there that understand what's going on here. And I thank you guys for being thoughtful about that and listening to me and a couple others that are trying to tell you this ain't what it looks like, folks. You better pay attention to the man behind the curtain. That's all I'm saying. And this is not personal. I'm just going by what I've seen, what I've been told, what I've witnessed. And folks, you've witnessed it too, for God's sakes. And I think that's why you got 52% of the people going, let's wait. Hold on here. Hold on. Actually, it's more like 57% of the people are going, okay. All right, let's see what the real deal is here. Mm-hmm. And that's smart. And I think, by the way, that number is going to grow. It's not going to go the other way. It's going to grow. Once the details come out, once people see what's going on, the shiny renderings and all the politicians waving their pom-poms, woo, that's all great. It's all great. Nobody's voted on anything yet.
You notice they focused on in the press conference yesterday how many events were coming to Pinellas County, and then also and the politicians were doing this, and how they kept on saying it's here to stay. Baseball is here to stay. After, once again, we went back through this a couple of years ago where Stu gets on TV and says this area, this region cannot handle baseball. So again, I mean, I'm hoping it works out because, again, I want to see the Rays in the Tampa Bay area overall. But
sure, we all do.
Show me.
They're folks, and this is the other.
Right.
We have talked about this false narrative that has been out there for so long, and so many people. And this is for the 43%. I would say probably 42% of those people look at it as, oh, the team was leaving, because that's what's always printed in the paper, and it's a completely false narrative.
Yeah.
The commissioner has said it a gazillion times, and anybody who knows anything about business and sports will tell you that a league is not leaving the 11th largest market. Their TV deals are based on having Tampa Bay having a baseball market. If that were to go away, then that would cost them money. So that's number one. Number two, why would they take away this market and move it to another potential expansion market like Nashville, where they're going to get $2 billion in expansion fees, which go to all the owners? If the Rays were to move to Nashville, that would take that option away. Now, there might be a relocation fee, but it's not going to be more than $500 million, $750 or $1 billion. It's not $2 billion. It's not $2 billion.
Yeah.
So, that is a false narrative. And I've told you folks this, and Stu is playing on that to get you guys all excited. Everybody's, well, at least they're not going to move. They were never going to move.
It was a scare tactic. That's all it was.
Exactly.
It reminds me of a song by Rage Against the Machine. You're a Rage fan? I'm a Rage fan. It's called Testify. There's a line there. Whatever's in the past becomes the future. Whatever's in the future becomes the past. What that basically means is what I said yesterday, how Major League Baseball used the city of St. Pete and the Tampa Bay area to their advantage to get new stadiums in their respective cities. They did the same exact thing. The only thing this time is they used Tampa as that city to use so they could get a new stadium in St. Pete's.
That's right. That's right. It's no different. And that's why Stu always pats himself on the back and says, oh, I never was going to move the team out of here. Yeah, you were. In terms of Montreal. Yeah, and if you could have, and by the way, he would have, if the major league owners wouldn't have stopped him, he would have. And that's why did Stu want to move the team out? Oh, absolutely, because he would make more money. Mm-hmm. But what I'm trying to tell you folks is Major League Baseball is the one who has the final say. The owners have to affirm a franchise relocation. And that's why no matter how Stu wanted to screw you guys, he wasn't able to do it. He tried with the split city thing. He tried to get around it, but the owners caught on to that as well. And
the ratings don't lie. I mean, again, it's 11th, city,
it's 11th largest market, heading towards the top 10.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I wanted to read, because I got I basically wrote what I just told you folks on Facebook, and there's been over 100 comments. And I wanted to read a couple of them from some prominent people. Dave Cook, my longtime sports producer at News Channel 8, who knows more about sports in this market than perhaps anybody. He wrote, great take on the Rays' new stadium deal, JP. As our friend, the late, great Chris Thomas would say, follow the money. In this situation, follow the money all the way to Stu's wallet. Just look at the financial disparity between Tampa and St. Petersburg government budgets, and it tells you everything you need to know. Tampa is slashing budgets while St. Petersburg is sitting pretty with tourist tax dollars. If you ever stay at a hotel in Pinellas, the extra taxes are substantial. It's pretty obvious that Stu needed this sweetheart deal to sell the team. Do they expect the affordable housing residents and seniors to become season ticket holders? I doubt it. I do hold Mayor Castor and Buckhorn accountable for not being better leaders to creatively make this happen in Ybor, but not surprised with their political agendas. Also, good luck finding parking spots over there. Yeah, absolutely. My friend, as a friend, Paul Wilson, who's texting me, I haven't read his text yet. He took me to task for being a provincialist, and we'll have him on tomorrow.
What is that, by the way?
It means that I'm going to separate Tampa and St. I'm all for Tampa just because it's Tampa and I'm dissing St. Petersburg, which is never, if you listen to the show for any amount of time, and he knows this, and we'll talk about it tomorrow. I'm going to the Rays game tomorrow with him. So nice. if they let me in, okay. I'll have a ticket that I didn't pay for.
If they let you in.
Let me in.
Of course they let you in.
And that, by the way, but I love the Rays. I love my team. I love my team. I'm just trying to be an advocate for you folks.
I'm not a fan of the ownership. I'm just not.
Exactly.
I'm just not.
I'm
not.
Anyway, and there are provincialists out there, and he's absolutely right. There are a ton of them. But I've always said, I don't get that. And I don't permit it on this show. Whenever everybody comes on and they talk about this stadium and they want to dump on St. Pete, I shut that down immediately because I love downtown St. Pete. Yes. Downtown St. Pete is awesome, and it doesn't need a baseball stadium. It doesn't. It has incredible culture and great bars and restaurants and, museums. Downtown St. Pete would be great for an MLS team. Oh my God, less games, right? And that's just, it fits that culture so well. And that, where the Rowdies are right now, man, if you could build that stadium up into a nice 25,000 seat soccer stadium, that would be awesome. That would be fantastic. That's only 20, 25 games a year, I think, in that realm, which is a sweet spot in terms of, and a lot of them are on the weekends. So it's not, or Thursday or Friday night. So it's not that weekend, weekday thing. That would be great. And as I said, the convention center would just crush it down there. And it doesn't need baseball. It never has. It won't. It's too beautiful. It's great. They have the beaches. It's fantastic in so many ways. It doesn't. And honestly, putting a baseball stadium there is a waste. It's a waste. You don't need it. And there's a reason. There's a reason that the mayor and the county commissioners are not allowing this to be a public vote. There's a very good reason for that, because it would fail miserably. And I would hope. I can't afford it myself. We can't afford it. We just did a poll on Twitter that showed you it would fail.
Yeah.
But I would, just in Pinellas County and St. Petersburg proper, I would love for somebody, that's something the Times should most 100% do. They have the money to do it, or one of these local television stations should certainly do it. Let's poll the voters of St. Petersburg and let's see what they say. And I would be shocked. I would be shocked if it's not 60-40 against, at least, or 55% at least. Once all the details are known, by the way, let's not do it right now in the wake of, the big party and the confetti farting. Nobody understands where, how the sausage is going to be made yet. Before all that's done, let's let that cool down a little bit. And once we know the details, and let's put it out to the voters for a poll, and you should ask yourself, if you're a voter, if you're in St. Petersburg or Pinellas, and this money, by the way, they're going to tell you, oh, it's bed tax money. It's not your money. Oh yeah, it's your money. You put up with the traffic, right? You put up with all the tourists coming here and what that brings, and it's positive stuff. Obviously, we're a tourist economy. I get that, but you could use that for other money. I mean, for other things like replenishing the beach, a convention center, more parking, mass transit. How about that? How about you build some trains in St. Petersburg? Move people around a little bit easier, huh? That might be a good idea.
That'd be nice.
That might be something that people, and by the way, that would also bring tourism in, right? I think I saw something about a big gondola going over from Clearwater to the beaches. That sounds like fun. That's something that these tourist dollars were meant to build. Not a baseball stadium where that money is basically coming from within the area. There's going to be, there's some tourism. Some people will, excuse me, come down from other markets to visit. Oh, choked on that one.
Uh-oh.
But not a whole bunch. Not as much as what would be a convention center, where you're bringing in millions of people from the outside. So, yeah, and we'll go back to this and revisit it as time goes on. I want to get to some other stuff, but if we have any phone calls, or I haven't looked at the comments yet, Peter, if you want to jump on in with some of the comments.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of comments here. I mean, let's see. So is the stadium a done deal? I saw reports where it was hopeful, Plan, and others who sounded like it's a signed, sealed, and delivered. James, WDAE 620 never mentioned this, that it is the fourth stadium announcement. They act as if this is the first they heard of this. It's like they think Stu saved baseball in Tampa Bay. The pastor from Bethel
Not
Church,
surprising. They're the race station.
right, had moved 40 years ago, never got what he was promised. Now, 40 years later, he says nothing has changed. Let's see here. Another comment from Kevin. They can do that with the new stadium. They have conventions at the Trop now. Ryan, what do you think they will do with the extra billion pocketed 1.5? Dude, I watched from a classroom with Campbell Park in fifth grade as they built that thing. I'm 47 and I have been to it, other than to clean it up after the 12 times. If that's what's going to happen again. It will hurt the inner city the hardest, while there's nothing to be catered for some money but mockery. Rich,
interesting.
Would the Bolts sell out every game if the arena were in St. Pete? How did the Bolts do when they were playing at Tropicana? Do you remember that?
I wasn't here in the market at that time. I mean, they set the playoff record.
Correct.
That's a 1-2 off.
Right.
I don't know about, midweek games, how it did. Probably not great, I would think. But and you see, once again, you're talking about 41 home games, which is less than 81. It's
Sure.
by my Florida State math, that's half. And football would be great for St. Petersburg because it's weekend, right? It's Sunday.
Yep.
And if we could trade football for baseball for St. Petersburg, if St. Petersburg needs a hub team, I would do that in a heartbeat. Because think about that. That's a great opportunity to go to downtown St. Pete and hang out before the games and pregame and those great Central Avenue and all the great bars and restaurants. And I don't know where you'd build the stadium. It would still be tough to get in and out. But
right.
For football games, that's not as important because you're going in 2-3 hours early. It's spaced out. People stay after the games. It's only on the weekend, so you're not worried about getting home for bedtime. So that would be awesome. And I would be, if there was, obviously you can't do this now, but just conceptually, in terms of people thinking I'm a provincialist and I hate St. Pete, I don't want them to have anything. No, it's not about that. It's about how's it going to be successful? What's best for the entire area? And I'm not a provincialist because I didn't grow up here. When people talk to me about this, oh, there's St. Petersburg and there's Clearwater and there's Tampa, I go, this is Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Those are just lines
here, and I feel the same way. Like it's all Tampa Bay. It's not just Tampa and St. Pete.
They're lines on a map.
Bay. Right.
They're lines on a map. This is, there's a body of water. Yeah, it's beautiful to cross over. I love it every time I do it.
Yeah.
I just don't get that. But travel times are travel times. Travel times are travel times. So it's never to me been about St. Pete versus Tampa, and I've never wanted to make it about that. To me, it's just about demographics.
Yeah.
It's about demographics, and it's about numbers. Again, it's just and this is in terms of that, a horrible use of public money, in my opinion.
And to Rich's point, hockey and baseball are a different game, although baseball has changed its rules, so it's become more fast-paced. Back then, you'd probably rather go to a hockey game than you go to a baseball game. Let's go out to Mario. Winter Wonderland takes place at the Trop every holiday season, one of the few times that people go there for events other than baseball. James, I just wish you could go
way better than the Rays midweek.
So more people could hear this. James/Ludeman. The part of this that's the issue, though, is people from Tampa are mad, but they didn't want to do anything about it. Response?
Again, Tampa did, Hillsborough County did, and I think the residents of Tampa certainly did. And I think, again, I love Bob Buckhorn and Mayor Castor, but they did not step up. They did not step up. That's the city of St. Pete's given $300 million. And again, I got to see what the deal is. Is that $300 million? What I'm guessing is like the city gets a portion of the bed taxes and the county gets a portion of the bed taxes. So I guess they're going to pool their bed tax money, half from the county, half from the city, to get to the $600 million. That's what I'm guessing it is. So yeah. And I was told by, I don't want to name names here, but I was told by a city council official, a city councilman. I asked him quite squarely, like, where can you not put in some money? He said, yeah, we could probably come up with about $300 million. I was like, well, where has this been? He said, yeah, through bonds and what have you. And we could set it up in terms of a taxing district where we would make that money back in essentially user fees. And I think they call them CCD districts, user fees and bonds and public stuff I don't understand. But I said, would that be new tax money? This is all I care about. Is that new property tax money? He'd say, no, we could raise it in this other way, the same way the county was, and bed tax money and et cetera, et cetera. They essentially do the same thing that Pinellas just did. But the city had no stomach for that, I guess. And I'm not here to say that they don't have other issues. They do, but so does Pinellas County. They all have issues. It's a matter of whether it was a good investment for the city. And I think it would have been a great investment for the city. And I think it would have been a good investment for the county. I think it would be a much better investment in Tampa because you would make your money back because fans would actually go. That's the difference here, folks. It's a great concept in Pinellas if the fans go. But we have proven that it's location, right? You can build the greatest Taj Mahal you want, But if it still takes more than an hour and a half for most of the bedroom communities, 45 minutes there and worse back because of the lack of roads going in and out of St. Petersburg, that's a problem. That's a problem. It's a huge problem. And midweek has been a problem. Why should we be so dumb that we don't look at the last 25 years and say, let's learn something from this?
All right, just a $15 million payola to the churches and mosques is enough to kill Stu's party. James says Tampa leadership didn't do anything to make this happen. St. Pete did. No one from St. Pete complains about driving to Lightning or Bucs games. Why so much hate over keeping the stadium where it is? People from Tampa don't want to drive. That is a terrible excuse.
I hear this so often, and it's and I know it's maddening for them to understand, but it's 81 games, folks. It's 81 games. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Okay? One off, going on Saturday and Sunday. Nobody has a problem driving then. The weekends are fine. Okay? Do I need to talk slower, James? It's Monday through Thursday. It's not a want to. You want to you get off work 5:36, put the kids in the car, okay, 6:15, you're getting over the bridge. Now, if you're coming from Wesley Chapel, if you're coming from West Tampa, if you're coming from West Chase, hell, if you're coming from Newport Richie, okay, it's 45 minutes to an hour. You're not even getting there by game time.
At least, yeah.
At least the games are faster now. So you're out of there by 9:30. You're still not home till 11. I mean, God, people, this is not difficult to understand. And here's the other point to that. You are the people that are making it provincial. You are the people. Why can't they drive over? We drive that. That's not what it's about. It's not, you sound like 5-year-olds. Seriously. You put it in the middle of the market. There's 2.4 million people within a 30-minute driving distance. In downtown St. Pete, there's at most 700,000. Okay? It's a macro problem. It's not we don't want to drive. Okay? And I'll drive. I don't have a problem with it. I'm talking about everybody. Joe, everybody. Not everybody has time to get in the car and spend that much time on a weekday. Most people don't. Not to mention, we haven't even talked about the cost of tickets and concessions that are going to be for this new stadium, because whether it's Stu, well, if it's not Stu, Stu will charge as much as he can anyway. But when a new ownership group comes in, is Stu going to take the $500 million that he put in the separate account? Is there going to be any TV revenue money left that he hasn't taken for the new ownership group? Are they going to be saddled with the debt of the stadium and the cost overruns? Are they going to be able to, once the shininess moves off of this team and nobody shows up, are they going to be able to have a payroll? Because guess what? We're going to be sitting there going, oh, yeah, well, most of the people are over there and they're not going to come. The economy's gotten worse and it's more. Come on, people. You got to have a bigger net. You got to have a bigger net to make it happen. You're constricting your net. Why would you do that? And listen, and to your point of Tampa offered in Hillsborough County in 2018. They showed corporate support. That's another false narrative. I was there. I was part of the corporate support people that put that whole deal together. There was $160 million pledged for the first 10 years, and that just scratched the surface. And I'll bring Ron Cristaldi in here and everybody else from the Raise 100, and they'll swear to that on a Bible or in court. Okay, so that it wasn't corporate support. It's complete bullshit. All right, another false narrative. And from a Tampa standpoint, Hillsborough County said, here's $150 million up front, and we will pay as we go. And that's what Ken Hagan said. We will pay as we go. Now, that's not as much as Stu wants up front, but that would get the job done where they would pay half and the county would pay half. So the deal was there to be made in 2018. If the Rays would have paid half, that deal would have been done, but Stu didn't want to pay half then. He walked away. He walked away from the deal, not Hillsborough County. He walked away from the deal. Don't ever forget that. And there's still a deal on the table right now that the Rays, you know what? There was a deal on the table that the Rays didn't even bother to listen to. You know why? Because they wanted to grab the money up front and get this done as quickly as they can and ram it through before any of you know what's going on. And by the way, keep that lawsuit, nobody talk about that lawsuit, okay? We're going to get this done now. You think the announcement yesterday had anything to do with the timing of the announcement of the lawsuit getting kicked back into court? I wonder. All right, we got to move on. We got Leo Haggerty coming up. Let's hit our first break. Leo's here to talk about all things USF, and I got to eat some crow on this one. I said Bama was going to roll USF, and the Bulls stood tough. Leo told me, and I owe him some chicken wings. So we'll talk to Leo Haggerty next. We're brought to you by the Jeeves Law Group, JEEVES lawgroup.com. Bay Area Modern Medical Center. Get your testosterone right, folks. Get your nutrition right. Get your immune system right. It's important. BAMMC.com. Back in 3.
JP here for my good friends at Italiano Insurance, and they did it again. Once again, Italiano Insurance stepping up with the best customer service. I was in a bind. My old insurance company, my auto insurance, jacked up my rates, so I called Charity at Italiano Insurance, and she stayed till 9:30 at night until she got my insurance done. And guess what? She searched all these companies for me. I didn't do the work. She did. Saved me $1,000 on my annual premium. $1,000, folks. That's real money. And that's what you get at Italiano Insurance. Great customer service. And here's another note for you, by the way, with hurricane season up. 40% of people in Florida are underinsured. That means if you have something happen during a hurricane and you need replacement costs, you're going to get 40% less than you deserve. Can't let that happen. Call the folks at Italiano Insurance and get them to help you out in both those regards. They will save you money and keep you insured properly. That's 813-877-7799. Great folks in the community, been doing it for over 60 years. Italiano Insurance, 813-877-7799.
So you're experiencing those feelings of getting older, lower sex drive, fatigue, hot flashes, moodiness, or you just don't feel like you had the vitality you once had. It's a chronic problem here in the United States. You're not just getting old, it's likely low testosterone. Studies over the last 20 years show a shocking decline in younger males aged 16 to 39. Older men have seen a sharp decline as well. So do something about it. Go see my friend Christopher Lugo at Bay Area Modern Medicine. Look, testosterone replacement is not a frivolous treatment. It takes a professional, targeted approach that focuses on total body wellness, vitality, and emotional stability. Not a one-size-fits-all approach like many clinics use. They will monitor your blood work and adjust your treatment as needed for optimal results. Folks, I've been on testosterone therapy for over 6 years, and it is a life changer. You will feel and look better than you did 10 years ago. Give them a call at 844-977-3477 or go to BAMMC.com. Tell them JP sent you for priority scheduling. That's 844-977-3477 or BAMMC.com. JP here for the Jeeves Law Group, JEEVES. Call for a free case evaluation, 888-9-JEEVES. That's 888-9-JEEVES. We're local, we're trusted. The law firm brings over 80 years of combined legal experience focusing on clients in Tampa Bay, the state of Florida, and national class action cases. If you're injured, get that free case evaluation, no cost to you. The Jeeves Law Group's focus is on auto, truck, and motorcycle accidents, as well as class action and consumer protection law. Scott Jeeves is a board-certified civil trial lawyer and a certified circuit court mediator practicing in the Tampa Bay area for over 30 years. You hear him on the show all the time. Great guy, big Gator fan, and great for the community. The Jeeves Law Group is a highly skilled team with years of experience that will apply their skills, expertise, and knowledge to assist individuals who have been in an accident with compensation for damages, lost wages, medical expenses, pain and suffering, and property damage. Get that free case evaluation, 888-9-JEEVES. That's 888-9-JEEVES.
Coming back at you. Now, more with JP on FanStream Sports. It's only just begun.
And welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the great folks at the Golden Diamond Source. If you got any old coins, old jewelry laying around, some flatware in in the garage. You don't even know what you're doing with it. Bring it over to the Golden Diamond Source. Get some cash. Throw it into an investment account. Maybe make some money. Buy some crypto. Yeah, that's better than it just sitting in the China cabinet, right? So bring it on over to the Golden Diamond Source. Get some cash for it. I'd love to see you. Maybe buy something new and shiny with it as well. It's the Golden Diamond Source, 3800 Almerton Road. Always online at thegoldendiamondsource.com. All right, let's bring in my man, Leo Haggerty, who covers USF for us, so I can eat this big pile of crow. What's up, my friend? How are you? Great performance by the Bulls.
Yes, I'm doing fine, JP, and I like my wings crispy. Just want to let you know.
You got it, bro. You got it. Hooters, here we come.
I'll tell you what, I didn't see that playing out the way it did. I thought there'd be a lot more points scored, but what did we find out last weekend in college football? If you don't have an established quarterback, I don't care who you are, you got problems. Alabama's in trouble. Georgia, hey, they thought all Bennett was a guy to hand the ball off or throw it. Georgia's finding out, hey, we don't have a quarterback either. Iowa State doesn't have one. Oklahoma State doesn't have one. If you don't, and JP, you asked me a great question. Is Western Kentucky better than Alabama? Yeah, because they had a quarterback. Alabama has no quarterback. I'll tell you what, I don't know what Nick Saban was thinking, but the guy he benched got him 24 against Texas. That didn't make sense to me.
Is it fair to say that, because a lot of USF fans will say, you know what, Alabama, because they didn't have a quarterback, this is not on USF. This is what Alabama did wrong. They lost the game, or they kept it close because they don't have a quarterback. Is that fair? Or do you say USF played this game tough? They played the number 10 team in the country as hard as they could. Let's give USF some credit.
Yeah, and let's talk about early in the game how the running back just steamrolled the safety.
Oh, my God. Make one right. Hello.
Sent the message right there. And let's give credit to defensive coordinator Todd Orlando. He saw blood in the water, and he attacked every play. He went after that quarterback. They completely ignored the run. It reminded me of Rod Marinelli. Hey, let's play the run on the way to the quarterback. We're going to get to the quarterback. And they did. It was a great defensive effort. And I'll tell you what, I like Coach Golish. Hey, there's no moral victories. We got to win. I like that attitude. And if they play like that Saturday against Rice, they're going to win the football game.
Hey, Leo, let me ask you this. So you think, and of course, he's got to say that at the podium. You know, you need to say that. Do you think when he went into the locker room after the game, or even went into his film session, that he didn't say, we made a little bit of a statement there. The people have to take us seriously now. I mean, he's got to be pleased with what happened, what transpired. He had the ball down 7 in the 4th freaking quarter. And let me just say this. You had a chance to beat, I don't want to bang on him, but you had a chance to beat Alabama. You had the ball with 8 minutes left the game and approaching midfield, running the ball pretty well, by the way. Mm-hmm. And Byron Brown threw a horrific Josh Allen-esque into double coverage, 2 deep safeties interception. That was, you had a chance, bro. And then you jumped off sides on another chance to do it. Those were 2 horrible mistakes that they had a chance to win this game.
Yeah, and you know what Coach Golish said? I got impatient. I wanted to let Byron set his feet and throw it long. All he had to do was take what was there.
Yes.
And Peter and I sat there, and what was driving us nuts is Alabama pressed the outside receiver, okay, on both sides. That means they were playing safety help behind. Nobody's in the middle of the field.
Yes.
Finally, in the 4th quarter, they moved that slot guy in closer so he could get to the middle of the field. It was a simple read. If you saw one high safety, you knew what was coming. If you looked out and saw green, it was cover 2, get to the middle. And you know what? The quarterback, people forget Brown. That's his 4th start. He's 18 years old. Yeah, he's growing up. But I'll tell you what, that defense, that's a whole different animal from last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, talk about Daquan Evans. I mean, a big game out of him, 3 sacks. The defense overall really got after no matter what Alabama quarterback they had back there. And I think I was pleasantly surprised by that defense. What do you say?
Oh, yeah. They got 5 total sacks. Alabama, and this is what I don't understand, guys. Texas dominated them on the line. USF pretty much dominated them on the line too. So what are we trying to get out of this? Is USF better or is Alabama coming back to the pack? I think it's a little bit of both. What I like to see, and again, JP, Peter, you and I know with the NCAA rules, to keep a team in the 20s is a good defensive effort. To keep them under 20, that's a great defensive effort. Now, if they can get that offense where it's clicking again, and I think the biggest concern right now is those outside receivers. They got to get separation. They got to be able to get up the field.
Leo Haggerty joining us here, covers USF for us. All right, and as some smart people have already said on this show, if you don't back this up, it means nothing. And they've got to back this up and go win some freaking football games in conference. They have an opportunity to make some noise now. We see they can play with Alabama in terms – the fact that Alabama just couldn't turn around and hand it off and steamroll USF, it to me means they are light years, and I mean light years ahead of where I thought they were. So now you can play some defense, which was completely non-existent last year, as we've talked about. And you've got an offense that has a chance. Boy, I sure wish we had Xavier Weaver and Joe Horn still.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. But anyway, that's a story for another time, but we will talk about it here in a second. But you got to follow this up, man. You got to follow this up. Yes, Peter, get the audio ready, by the way. We'll play it again.
Yeah, and you know what, JP and Peter? Here's the thing. Goalish went into this game figuring, I'm going to have to bury this film. I can't show this because we're going to get beat, like you said, 69-0.
Yep.
I thought it'd be a little bit closer, but he can show that film. And you're right. If they lay an egg against Rice, it's back to square one.
Yep.
They've got to build on this game. They've got to step up. They've got to make that next step, which is, and he's made this statement. Do you believe you can win? Do you think you can win? Do you expect to win? They got to go into the Rice game expecting to win. If they're not, now they're back to square one. But you're exactly right, JP. If they lay an egg, now you're back to 10,000 people at the game.
Yep.
What do you say about Alex Golesh? What do you say about him going for it on fourth down? I mean, did you agree with the decisions that he had there, Leo? Do you like it? Do you like the fact that he's very aggressive? That even when he was asked about this last week, if I get a chance on fourth down, I'm going to go for it. He did that a couple of times there. Did you agree with those decisions?
You know what, Peter? At the time, I didn't. But when I look back and how well his defense was playing, yeah. I think I'd have taken a couple more chances than what I thought he would have. But, again, they're in the game for 58 minutes. They got a shot to take this sucker into overtime at 10-10, and nobody thought that was going to happen. The only thing I was really right about, guys, is I said there was going to be a lightning delay. Welcome to Tampa in September. Why are you playing a 4 o'clock game? That was ridiculous.
Yeah, I've said this so many times. They should outlaw any day games in September in Florida. Outlaw them. Like, it's not safe. You know how many people passed out at the Bucs game last week?
Jeez.
I mean, I had so many people messaging me and saying there are people dropping like flies. It's not. It's dangerous. It's dangerous, and the NFL has to do something about that. I don't care what it is, but if you got to play 2 Monday night games, 2 Sunday night games, whatever. No games in Florida in September at 1 o'clock. It's or college football. College has a much easier scheduling issue, especially USF. There's no reason in the world that they should be playing day games in that stadium in September. October's bad enough, but September, that's a no-go.
Guys, why not take advantage of the primetime slot of 8 o'clock? If it's going to be on ABC, take advantage of it. If it's Alabama going into USF, take advantage of it. Why not 8 o'clock? I don't understand it. I don't.
And you know what, guys? Explain this to me. Clemson, Florida State at noon? What sense does that make?
I'm good with it. I don't want them hillbillies getting all juiced up all day long. That's good. They'll be juiced up enough with their mimosas, and they won't be drinking mimosas. Their whiskey. They'll be drinking whiskey at 8 o'clock in the morning. They'll be juiced up enough
at 8 in the morning up there at Death Valley.
But I don't want to give them hillbillies all day long. No freaking way. So I'm okay with it. So I think that plays a little bit in that issue. But yeah, I don't get that. Yeah, and they're starting like the Colorado games, TCU game in the Central Time Zone. They're starting at 11 o'clock in the morning. Jesus, that's an early tea time for me. But anyway, I digress. Peter, were you able to call that great piece of audio up?
What audio? What audio were you talking about?
Deion Sanders audio, obviously.
Oh, let me see if I can get that. All right, hold on a sec here. Stand by.
So, Leo, I just I have to hit you up with this because you went through this. Well, I think you were actually dealing with some of your health issues. Which, by the way, again, great to see you, my man. When the whole Deion conversation happened at USF, and I told people, and I said, it's 90% because people that were very close to the situation told me that Deion was very close to, and all he wanted was just meet my price and let me have full control, and I'll come to USF. And they didn't want to do that. And I get it. And they moved on with Alex, and I get it. And there's a lot of reasons why they did that. So I'm not here to piss on Michael Kelly or anybody else. I'm not. And for all I know, Michael Kelly would have done whatever he possibly could to get Deion Sanders here because he knows how the game is played now. I don't know if it was his decision. I don't know if it was upper management's decision. I don't know. Maybe we will never know. Bottom line is he didn't come here. But for all those people who said I was just making it up and Deion would never come here and wasn't interested, listen to him talking to my man, Bubba the Love Sponge, on Friday. And Bubba asked him about USF.
Tampa, and it was between, and I had to ask this question, Colorado, USF. I mean, and now that I look back at it, at the facilities, and I see where you live, and I see where your office and the backdrop of your office has the mountains, and it's just so beautiful. And USF has got this. They're working on getting a good facility, but Colorado State was just turnkey. Was USF ever in the running at all, Coach?
Oh, for certain. Oh, definitely. I mean, those guys that came down to meet with us, along with Derek Brooks, they did a fantastic job of really highlighting the program, and it was awesome. So most definitely, that was no game. That was real. That was authentic. And the plans that they showed me on what's coming there, it's unbelievable. Like the campus and the new stadium, how that's going to be, it is strictly unbelievable.
So they were. I mean, it was. They were in the money.
They were in it. They were definitely in it because of the location as well and the opportunity to recruit. But I also knew that the three big boys in the state, being Florida State, Florida, Miami, they would always use the Power 5 thing against me recruiting and all of that. And it would have been just...
Yeah, but I think you would have had them in a new conference by now. I mean, I think they would have been one of those conference jumpers, having you behind them. When you came to Tampa, it was between...
Hold on. There you go. So there you go.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was real. And what did he say? For certain. Yes, it was real. It was awesome. It was unbelievable. First of all, USF should be using that. I think we lost Leo.
Yeah, I think we did lose Leo. So let's go.
We might be able to get him back. Yeah.
Yes.
We'll see if he jumps back in. Yeah, I mean, USF should be using that as a recruiting tool right there. Yeah, because it was close. It was damn close. And for all those reasons that Deion mentioned, it was close. And that should give USF fans a tremendous amount of we got Leo back.
Yeah, we
that
do.
That should give USF fans a tremendous amount of hope that something. If Deion was that close to coming, that's pretty damn good, don't you think, Leo?
Oh God, yes. And again, somebody must have balked at that at USF because that's a no-brainer to me. I mean, if you got Deion Sanders wanting to come there, one, he's bringing a bunch of players with him. And look at what he's done at Colorado. And that's on that level. We're going to find out what they look like against Oregon and USC in the next couple of weeks. But still, he was bringing talent with him. That was huge.
Yeah, absolutely. All that stuff that you saw at College Game Day this week out in Boulder, that would have been in Tampa. That would have been The Rock wearing a USF jersey.
Pat
McAfee wearing a USF jersey. That would have been all of those people would have been USF because it would have been Alabama, Nick Saban, and Deion Sanders in the Aflac Bowl. And I'll tell you what, as bad as Alabama is without a quarterback, with those players that Deion has right now, that all would have been here. Xavier Weaver would have still been here. Joe Horn would have still been here. There would have been more players here because it's Florida, and they would have gone out and whooped Alabama's ass. I can tell you that right now. I think if Colorado played Alabama, Deion would win.
With the way the quarterback is played and Travis Hunter. Go back to Colorado State game there. What did you think about that hit? And then afterwards, it's revealed that the young man received death threats. And, of course, Deion said, look, it's just a game. No kid should receive death threats. But what did you think about that? Yeah, what did you think about that overall hit on Travis Hunter? Was that clean? Was that dirty in your opinion? What did you see on that?
You know what? Being a former defensive back, you have to understand that when you get a chance to hit a receiver within the time frame of the ball coming and the ball being there and the ball going over his head, you're going to take advantage of that because you got to send a message.
Yeah.
Was it a dirty hit? I wouldn't say it was a dirty hit. Was it necessary? And now you're drawing a fine line. But again, intimidation is part of football. That's the message they were trying to send, I think.
I agree with you. I think I wasn't as dirty as people thought. I thought it was a half a step late. It was a half a step late, and it happened to be a bad hit. Most times Travis Hunter's just going to pop right up, and it's not that big a deal. But he had a lacerated kidney because he hit him in right where, that was very unfortunate that he was injured in that. So that's where I think it made it look a lot worse than it actually was. But I agree with you. That's a half step earlier, and that's right when the ball got there, and that's a clean hit. So I agree, but it did look dirtier than I think people are and nobody needs to be getting death threats for this stuff. Come on, people. Jesus Christ.
And Leo went back into the dark room there with Aaron Rodgers.
Okay. All right. We'll say, there you go, Leo. All right, partner, tell everybody how they can get your content.
Hey, go to Amped Up Sports on Twitter. Go to Amped Up Sports, our website. I posted one today about the NFL referees. Boy, when there's an obvious pass interference at the end of the game, how about stepping up and calling it? Look at the Broncos. That was terrible. The Steelers, and I'll tell you what, if you haven't seen the Nick Chubb injury, don't watch it. It's Joe Theismann-esque. It's terrible. Guys, until next Wednesday, have a good one.
Thank you, Leo. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it.
There you go. Good stuff by Leo Haggerty. And we actually have some breaking news as it was coming in that Kareem Hunt has signed a new contract with the Cleveland Browns. So what do you think of that? A lot of Bucs fans wanted the Bucs to pursue him because, of course, the Chase Edmonds injury. I think they're happy with their running back room. There was a report yesterday about Cam Akers. We talked to Scott Reynolds, a Pewter Report. He doesn't necessarily think that's going to happen.
No.
But Kareem Hunt to the Cleveland Browns, does that help them out? Because they played really poorly. And I'll tell you right now, Deshaun Watson, I still say the jury is out on him. Ever since he went to Cleveland, he's up there in the Vinny Cash Stealer mode, in my opinion. You know what I'm talking about, JP.
Listen, I'm not going to – I'll impugn Deshaun Watson because of what he did off the field, which I frankly, I'm on record as saying I'm completely shocked by. And I know people who know Deshaun Watson very well. I've interviewed him a few times. I know people who have played with him, and everybody to a man is like, I didn't see this coming, and I still don't believe it, but the evidence is overwhelming. The evidence is overwhelming. So, first of all, how our legal system did nothing about it just boggles my mind. But for the NFL, for the Cleveland Browns, to give this guy $240 million guaranteed, you know what? F around and find out. F around and find out. And you. This is such an egregious miscalculation of character when it was there for everyone to see. How the hell do you go out of your way and give up a king's ransom to get this guy? Even if he was that guy, that great quarterback that he once was. What are you doing, Cleveland? You are such a bad organization. This is exactly what you deserve. And by the way, your former quarterback's playing pretty well. Thanks for getting rid of him. Thanks, appreciate that, bro. Well, you pay that jackass $240 million. We're paying Baker $4 million, and he balling, he baking, and your guy is straight trash, straight trash. Kareem Hunt, O.J. Simpson. Oh, they'd probably take O.J. Simpson. I mean, Ezekiel Elliott in his prime, Adrian Peterson in his prime, whatever you want. It ain't going to help that joke of an organization. And that's a shame because they got some good players. It's like I said about the Jets, man. They'll find a way to F it up.
Yep.
They'll find a way to F it up. And I know it's an injury. It's a hard deal. But you know what? When you put all your eggs in one basket, when you put all those eggs into one basket and that basket falls over, you're effed. The Jets are effed. They're talking Zach Wilson.
Oh, yeah. Zach Wilson. How'd he look against Dallas's defense? And, oh, by the way, everybody's saying Tom Brady is coming back. He is not coming back. He said on his Let's Go podcast, he enjoys his time. He's not coming back.
First of all, what's crazy about this is, did you not watch Tom Brady last year? All you people, if he came back, it would be worse than Aaron Rodgers.
Yes.
Aaron Rodgers on a torn Achilles would be better than Brady. Did you not watch it? Did you not see it?
Well, they think that was because of Byron Leftwich or the
behind that offense.
The wide receivers.
Behind that the Jets offensive line.
It's worse. It's freaking worse.
You got to be kidding me.
Terrible.
Go get your Kirk Cousins. Go get your Taylor Hunt. Go get Jameis Winston, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
Jets, what are you doing?
Or just go with
Jameis Winston.
Yeah.
Have some fun with this, man. You got weapons. I mean, he'll throw it down. So what if he turns it over? You got a badass defense. Who cared? Like, Jameis would be perfect for the Jets. It wouldn't cost them much. You know, he come right in there. He's got Dalvin Cook. He's got some Seminoles there they can get around with. The New York media will have so much fun with that. And if he throws a couple, he's going to throw 35 touchdowns, 30 touchdowns. You know, okay, he probably throw 22 picks. But with a defense like that, who cares? That's a winning edge.
Yeah.
Some of these organizations, bro, now they're going to go get Kirk Cousins. Well, a standstill quarterback and behind that offense, at least Jameis knows how to Fred Sanford and run around. He's elusive. I mean, he's awkward as hell, but he's elusive and he can make plays on the run for both teams. So
do you remember the play that he made? I think it was like 16 or 17 versus the Falcons. You need a first down. It's
my God. It was one of the greatest scrambles in history.
18. And then the other one, which is against the Chicago Bears, where he makes
people forget some of his great escapes, man. That guy
made some plays.
Yeah. He was Houdini with leg braces. That's what he like it was never pretty how he got out of stuff. It was ugly as could be, but he did it, which made it more fun.
Yeah.
For me. That would be great. But I just have to laugh at the Jets. And the Browns. What god-awful organizations, man. What god-awful. But thankfully, the Bucs benefit from you give up on a number one overall pick who took you to the playoffs and won a playoff game.
Oh. What are you doing? And you're trying to win now. What do? You invest all that money into a quarterback that is underperformed and on top of it had a turnover problem the other night. Now you give credit to where credit is due. That Steeler defense, TJ Watt. I mean, they got after him, and that line did a poor job of protecting.
He's a shell of what he used to be. He's a shell of what so much about quarterbacking is, your vibe, man. You got to be confident. You got to be confident in what you're doing. And I think Deshaun, just in terms of all the stuff that's gone on off the field and how rusty he got, right? You just, you can't take 2 years off in the middle of your career as a quarterback.
Yeah.
It's not going to play well. And then there's probably tons of doubt in his head and the pressure to come back from the embarrassment, the public embarrassment that he has endured. It's just not a good recipe at all. Why would you willingly take that on when you have a quarterback that just took you to the playoffs? Your crappy ass organization. He finally you got a playoff win, and then you're going to bail on that guy to bring in that guy.
He may never be the same again. People kind of say, well, he put that in the past. Maybe he's not able to put that in the past.
It's tough. It's a lot. It's a lot. All right, we got to hit a break. Let's hit another break here. We've got Evan L. Bushman coming back. Ray's got a big Rays podcast. He's going to take me to task for my take on this new would-be stadium. We've had these announcements before. People are already putting this in the book because, the media is like, yeah, it's definitely going to happen. What are we doing? Hasn't been a vote yet. All right, whatever. The Jeeves Law Group, great folks over there. If you need any legal representation for an insurance claim, I would suggest you get involved with an attorney, a great one like the Jeeves Law Group. Bay Area Modern Medical Center for your testosterone and nutrition needs. Weight loss is a big thing they do over there. If you're trying to lose weight, don't try to do this by yourself, folks. They've got some great things over there that will help you. Helping me. I'm down 6 pounds this week, Peter.
Wow.
6 pounds. Yes.
Nice. Look at you, man. Flex.
Bay Area Modern Medical Center, baby. Yeah, I'm gonna have that 2-pack soon. My Tupac. All right, quick break. Stay with us.
Coins sitting around the house. Well, the Golden Diamond Source will purchase a variety of different types of coins and bullion. Their gold buying program includes sterling silver, platinum, and watches. They also accept unusual pieces that other jewelry stores do not, such as gold bars and sterling silver flatware. The list of items they do accept is far more extensive than those they don't, so check it out. While you're there, you can check out the largest collection of any family-owned jewelry store in the country, especially with summer coming to an end. The holidays are right around the corner. Never too early to start your holiday shopping, especially if you're planning on getting engaged or have any birthdays or anniversaries coming up. Come on in and find out what buying jewelry should be like with an expert staff of gold and diamond jewelry enthusiasts. And the best part, they treat you like family. And if you're worrying about price, don't. The Golden Diamond Source has something for everyone's budget. They even have a layaway. If you stop in and get your favorite piece now, you can have it paid off by Christmas. Plus, you can even finance your purchase with 0% interest for up to 5 years, and you can get a $5,000 diamond for only $83 a month. It's the greatest folks in the world, Julie and Steve Weintraub, the Golden Diamond Source, 3800 Olmerton Road, always online at thegoldendiamondsource.com.
JP here for my good friends at Italiano Insurance, and they did it again. Once again, Italiano Insurance stepping up with the best customer service. I was in a bind. My old insurance company, my auto insurance, jacked up my rates, so I called Charity at Italiano Insurance, and she stayed till 9:30 at night until she got my insurance done. And guess what? She searched all these companies for me. I didn't do the work. She did. Saved me $1,000 on my annual premium. $1,000, folks. That's real money. And that's what you get at Italiano Insurance. Great customer service. And here's another note for you, by the way, with hurricane season up. 40% of people in Florida are underinsured. That means if you have something happen during a hurricane and you need replacement costs, you're going to get 40% less than you deserve. Can't let that happen. Call the folks at Italiano Insurance and get them to help you out in both those regards. It will save you money and keep you insured properly. That's 813-877-7799. Great folks in the community, been doing it for over 60 years. Italiano Insurance, 813-877-7799.
Well, Fitz the mortgage guy did it again. A listener heard his ad, was going to another big bank, but called Scott Fitzgerald at American Mortgage Services of Tampa, and Fitz saved him $618 on his monthly payment. Are you kidding me? Folks, that's big money. Rates are going up, they're going down, they're going all over the place. Scott will shop your loan and save you lender fees and get the best rates. Email him, scott@amstampa.com, or call 813-294-7595. That's Fitz the mortgage guy. Lots of stuff going on right now, and these rates are going all over the place. You need somebody knowledgeable in the market that will work hard for you and get you the best deal. That's my man Scott. He's done 3 loans for me, done thousands of loans for local folks here, works with a lot of the coaches and players in the area. He's the guy. 813-294-7595, or go to scott@amstampa.com.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show with JP on FanStream Sports.
Welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the great folks at Extravaganza Productions. If you have a big event, a small event, a medium-sized event, whatever event you have, go ahead and check it out, folks. Extravaganzaproductions.com. They've got a warehouse full of props, all kinds of cool stuff. You can get a free creative session with them. Just go to their website and contact them and say, JP told me to come on over and talk to you folks, and say, can I get a tour of the warehouse? And they'll show you all the cool stuff they have in there. It's really, really cool. And they can use all that for your parties, whatever you want. You want a big football that says Outback Bowl on it, maybe they'll take that down for you. You never know. Yeah, just go on out there, check it out. And if you have a big fundraiser or a small fundraiser, whatever size it is, they'll have a budget for you and they can do it professionally. So go see the great folks at Extravaganza Productions at extravaganzaproductions.com. And we got so many great comments today on the show. I want to get to a lot of them. By the way, one of the commenters tuned me into this. In Jacksonville, they did a poll. They're trying to get $1 billion for the Jaguars to redo that stadium. And I guess it was like 51%. They did a poll. I don't think it was a vote, but a poll. 51% of the people said, no, thank you. Yeah. So, and that's it. Listen, why shouldn't this be up for a vote? If it's going to be the biggest public money giveaway, $600 million, over $500 million, why shouldn't the people of Pinellas County and St. Petersburg get a say in this? Why are the elected officials that scared of Stu Sternberg?
Yes.
Are they?
Yes.
Or I mean
you can clearly see the actions yesterday. Yes, they are, and they have been throughout the whole process. They think they're getting the best deal, and they don't want to lose the race. You could hear it yesterday in the press conference. Yes.
Yeah. The city council approved. Let me see, $120 million. That was a couple of years ago, but here we go. 51% of registered voters. Duval County voters want Jaguars to buy land and pay for stadium renovations. It's close, 51%, but I think there's still not a whole lot of appetite for handing out public money. And what's really bizarre is the fact that, if you're going to hand out public money, you would think that you'd want to do it with someone whose business reputation is beyond reproach and is really like a Jeff Vinnick. Like if you want to give, if the city of Tampa wanted to go into a business with Jeff Vinnick, I think people would, I think that poll would be 60, 75%, right? Every poll we've ever done has been Tampa by 75%.
Right.
And even the poll we did yesterday with everybody, as I love to say, farting confetti about this deal. 57% of people are like, no, we're not happy about this deal. So take that for what it's worth. All right, what else are we going to get to today? Oh, we got the Buccaneers, by the way, are off Tuesday and Wednesday, typical Monday Night Football schedule. So they're back in the building tomorrow and getting ready for the Eagles, which is going to be a very interesting football game. And looks like the Bucs are going to get healthier as well. We haven't got an injury report, obviously, because they haven't practiced yet this week. But hoping to get Carlton Davis back. Not sure exactly where Kalijah Kancey sits right now, but hopefully they'll be able to get him back. And, this is the week for it, because with Jalen Hurts, as good as he is at running the football and escaping, you need as much athleticism up front as you can. And to get Kalijah Kancey back would be tremendous. And obviously to get Carlton Davis back, your top cover corner, because, Jamel Dean did not have a great football game this past week. So Carlton Davis is a critical member of that, just in terms of schemes and what you want to do. You got to be able to play that number one receiver man-to-man in certain situations to be able to, commit guys to the pass rush, or to spy Jalen Hurts to make sure he doesn't get out against man-to-man coverage and start running wild, because those are the plays that absolutely just freaking kill you. But it'll be an interesting game, and it's going to be a hell of an atmosphere at Raymond James Stadium this week. It'll be packed, and there'll be lots of Philly fans. By the way, a lot of Bears fans.
Oh,
a lot of Bears fans.
Yeah.
I think those are the ones passing out, most of them.
Probably was. It definitely was.
Nobody was,
not used to it. They're not used to
permanently injured.
Yeah, we wouldn't want that. But lots of majority of fans, and you would think that the Eagles fans are definitely going to show up, especially with the Eagles being a Super Bowl contender, being the class of the NFC, being in the Super Bowl last year. There's Philly fans all down here, so why not make them go home a little bit unhappy, as they always live their lives like that. And you're exactly right. Carlton Davis is a big time injury there. You want him healthy, because A.J. Brown, we talk about it all the time. A.J. Brown is a playmaker. That's the reason why you signed a Carlton Davis in the first place. So you need him healthy. Jamel Dean is a second guy. He's good, but he's not as good as Davis, in my opinion.
No, not even close. Well, I shouldn't say not close, but he's just not the same guy.
No.
We need him, and definitely need him. All hands on deck against the Eagles. And by the way, did you see the Miami Dolphin fan that was attacked in Foxborough and died?
Yes.
He died of a heart attack, but what started it was a fight in the stands, which is just all too common in the NFL now. Fight in the stands, and these freaking jackasses that pull out their phones and don't break up fights and don't help people. I'm so tired of these people. I mean, you just sit there and watch some guy get beaten to death but you want to get it on the gram.
It's social media. I mean, that's
what is wrong with you people. It's lack of humanity, Peter. What are we doing? You would rather get it on your gram than help out. And it's some kid has to watch his dad die right in front of him an effing football game because some Patriot fan has got his panties in a wad that his team's losing. I mean, what are we doing? And you don't hear the NFL say squat about this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is just media people will cover it. There's no PSAs about it. There's no, the commissioner's not coming out saying anything about it. They just, don't tell anybody. This is happening all over the league every week. Pick up on your TikTok. I don't have TikTok, but they come on other social media outlets and we see them all, and it's disgusting. We had a beat down by a 49ers fan the other day. They killed somebody. Like, what are we doing?
It's a game, and you guys are making it worse. It's always like when you go out. I never understood this about people. You go out, you try to have a good time. You don't go out to try to have a fight. Now, here's more on this story. It is actually Dale Mooney, a 53-year-old from Newmarket, New Hampshire, confronted a rival Dolphins fan whom he had been arguing with during most of the game. Mooney went over to Section 311, basically engaged in mutual combat with another fan. The Boston Globe reports a lot of people started trying to pull them apart. It looked like somebody was in the middle of them. And then a man in the Dolphins jersey reached over and he connected with 2 punches to the victim's head. It wasn't something crazy or out of the ordinary until 30 seconds later, the guy wasn't getting up.
Yeah.
And they tried to perform CPR. It was a Patriots fan, actually. And it's absolutely sad. It doesn't matter if it's a Dolphins fan,
it doesn't matter
Patriots fan. You need to jump in there instead of trying to record this so you can get more views or likes or whatever else. I mean, and that is the sickness of social media. That is the toxicity, if you will, JP, of social media in general. It's all about me. Me.
It's just ridiculously disgusting. Disgusting. By the way, we haven't touched too much on the Rays either on the field.
We haven't. It was a pretty good win last night, by the way.
Nice win over the Angels. And how about Basabe?
Oh,
I mean, this young kid, Wander who?
Right.
I mean, he's making plays in the field. He's coming up with big hits. I mean, isn't that another, like we've totally forgotten about Wander. Totally forgotten about him.
It's amazing how that works. You want to hear from Basabe?
Sure.
All right, here we go.
Slavis Basabe, you smoked that ball for a 2-run double. What'd you see from that pitch that you liked?
¿Qué buscaste en el picheo para ganar ese doble ahí en esa entrada?
No, estaba un poquito ansioso delante del turno, porque ya que al principio del juego me había ponchado 2 veces, estaba un poquito ansioso, quería hacer las cosas bien. Cosas que pasan, gracias a Dios se equivocó, fue un picheo que no debió tirármela. Yo estaba ready para la recta, yo digo que si me tiraba el cambio, yo creía que me hubiera ponchado, pero me tiró la recta y estaba listo para la recta y pude conectar la bola bien.
I think I was a little anxious going into that at bat because I'd already had striking out a couple times, so I was going in there a little bit anxious, eager to do something good. Honestly, I think he just made a mistake on that pitch. If he would have thrown a changeup, I think I would have fell for it, but I was able to get a hit on that pitch that he messed up on.
How good did it feel to do that for this team? Give them the lead. You guys are fighting down the stretch for the division, and you gave them that go-ahead, those 2 go-ahead runs that they needed.
¿Cómo se sintió poder impulsar esas carreras? Especialmente ahora estamos peleando por una división y tal vez para ganar victorias. ¿Cómo se sintió eso?
No, muy emocionante, ya que no estoy jugando todos los días. Tengo que salir a dar lo mejor de mí. No, y contento. Gracias a Dios por la oportunidad de conectar bien la bola y contentísimo.
I'm very, very emotional, especially since I haven't been playing every day. It's definitely a good way to help the team out. I feel good that I was able to help produce.
What's your confidence in this team down the stretch? You guys want that division, don't you?
¿Dónde está la confianza del equipo? Queremos la división, ¿verdad?
No, estamos enfocados, tenemos que salir a jugar todos los días enfocados. El que esté en el line tiene que hacer el trabajo de él. Todo el mundo tiene que estar enfocado y tratar de dar lo mejor de cada quien.
Everybody just has to be focused. Everyone's got to be focused to give the best of themselves, and I think we're going to be all right.
All right, so there you go. There you go right there. So
I love this kid, man. Love him. He's got a little knack for the big moments. That's not his first big hit, and that was a huge hit because they had come back to tie it up. And the Rays go on to get that 6-2 win. They got to win every one. Did Orioles win last night? I didn't check.
They did 8-7, unfortunately.
God damn.
Over the Astros, no less. Yeah, over the Astros, it's disappointing. Again, I think this is going to come down to, the last week of baseball. Honestly, the last day of baseball could come down to that. Who knows? But the Orioles don't seem like they're going to ever lose. It's how it is right now.
That Saturday, Sunday debacle in Baltimore, that's going to come back to bite us in the ass.
Yeah.
All right. Quick break. When we come back, there's going to be a fiery debate on the stadium deal. Evan L. Bushman is going to get his clock cleaned by yours truly.
The Rays Rewind podcast, by the way.
Yes, the Rays Rewind podcast. This will be fun. We bring all opinions. That's what we do here. We keep it real. We are your independent voice of the fan. You won't hear this stuff anyplace else. Quick break. Back in a minute with a hearty, polite debate. Stay with us.
The mortgage guy did it again. A listener heard his ad, was going to another big bank, but called Scott Fitzgerald at American Mortgage Services of Tampa, and Fitz saved him $618 on his monthly payment. Are you kidding me? Folks, that's big money. Rates are going up, they're going down, they're going all over the place. Scott will shop your loan and save you lender fees and get the best rates. Email him, scott@amstampa.com, or call 813-294-7595. That's Fitz, the mortgage guy. Lots of stuff going on right now, and these rates are going all over the place. You need somebody knowledgeable in the market that will work hard for you and get you the best deal. That's my man, Scott. He's done 3 loans for me, done thousands of loans for local folks here, works with a lot of the coaches and players in the area. He's the guy. 813-294-7595, or go to scott@amstampa.com. Have any old coins sitting around the house? Well, the Gold and Diamond Source will purchase a variety of different types of coins and bullion. Their gold buying program includes sterling silver, silver, platinum, and watches. They also accept unusual pieces that other jewelry stores do not, such as gold bars and sterling silver flatware. The list of items they do accept is far more extensive than those they don't, so check it out. While you're there, you can check out the largest collection of any family-owned jewelry store in the country, especially with summer coming to an end. The holidays are right around the corner. Never too early to start your holiday shopping, especially if you're planning on getting engaged or have any birthdays or anniversaries coming up. Come on in and find out what buying jewelry should be like with an expert staff of gold and diamond jewelry enthusiasts. And the best part, they treat you like family. And if you're worrying about price, don't. The Gold and Diamond Source has something for everyone's budget. They even have a layaway. If you stop in and get your favorite piece now, you can have it paid off by Christmas. Plus, you can even finance your purchase with 0% interest for up to 5 years, and you can get a $5,000 diamond for only $83 a month. It's the greatest folks in the world, Julie and Steve Weintraub, the Gold and Diamond Source, 3800 Olmerton Road, always online at thegoldendiamondsource.com.
JP here for my good friends at Italiano Insurance, and they did it again. Once again, Italiano Insurance stepping up with the best customer service. I was in a bind. My old insurance company, my auto insurance, jacked up my rates, so I called Charity at Italiano Insurance, and she stayed till 9:30 at night until she got my insurance done. And guess what? She searched all these companies for me. I didn't do the work. She did. Saved me $1,000 on my annual premium. $1,000, folks. That's real money. And that's what you get at Italiano Insurance. Great customer service. And here's another note for you, by the way, with hurricane season up. 40% of people in Florida are underinsured. That means if you have something happen during a hurricane and you need replacement costs, you're going to get 40% less than you deserve. Can't let that happen. Call the folks at Italiano Insurance and get them to help you out in both those regards. They will save you money and keep you insured properly. That's 813-877-7799. Great folks in the community, been doing it for over 60 years. Italiano Insurance, 813-877-7799.
Pure sports. JP is back on.
Welcome back.
FanStream Sports.
Back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the great folks at the Patio. Yes, we will be at the Patio tomorrow night for Thursday Night Football as a makeup for Monday Night Football. We had a little technical difficulty there. We're going to be there tomorrow night, though. Right, Peter?
Yes, we will be there tomorrow night.
Okay,
PA system, everything. Yes, fan mic, everything.
Yes, the fan mic will be open. So if you want to talk about the stadium or whatever, come on over. Bring it. We'll do that too. So, and they have the greatest happy hour. Unique place to watch all the football games. Great place to watch any sporting event. Underneath the palm trees and the stars, they got great outside area there. Fantastic, really fun atmosphere. Not a stuffy sports bar that's going to charge you $10 for an IPA, folks. The prices are low, and we even give you $1 off beer and wine during happy hour from 3 to 7:30. So come on by the Patio any night. Always a great place. Everybody gets together at the Patio. All right, let's bring in our good friend Evan Elbushman from the Rays Rewind podcast that is so popular, sweeping the nation, I would have to say.
I wish.
What's up, partner? How are you?
What's up, fellas? Good morning to you.
Well, there was a little announcement yesterday.
Was there? Was that the drop? Was that the drop?
We've had 4 of these.
Yes, we have.
And then we're 0 for 4. So why is this one like, oh, it's definitely happening? Is there a vote been taken? No. Is there any public comment out there yet on the actual deal on the finances? Nope. But it's done. Yeah, it's done. Yeah, woo.
I've had the night to process everything from yesterday, and even after doing my show last night, we had a live stream last night. I still had time to process what we talked about in the show. There is still like a small percentage of me that doesn't believe this still because of past stuff. I mean, JP and Peter, we've all been through the rah sis boom ba, the dog and pony shows of prior stadium announcements and prior things that happened. So there's still a small percentage of me that's going, I don't believe this until I actually see a shovel breaking ground and then they start to do this. So I want to believe it. So hopefully they can get the financials, and obviously I think we heard yesterday it was like 90% done, and they just need to
90%. Who would say such a thing? 90%. 90%, 100%.
I know, there's so many percentages that are being thrown around. So I want.
Ryan all said 70%.
Did he say 70? I saw 90%, so it's 70, 90. Maybe we can meet in the middle.
We'll
maybe
make up whatever number we need to make up.
That's cool with me.
98.
There's still a lot of stuff that still has to be worked out because we were talking about this on my show, and I thought about this too, and I tweeted it out. I'm like, when they start to break ground and do construction, what are they going to be doing with the team? What are they going to be doing? Are they going to be putting them in Orlando to play for X amount of time?
Like, they're building the stadium in the parking lot.
Okay, that's cool. Where are you going to put the fans? Like, where are they going to park their cars?
Dude, details. What are you? Come on. We don't need. We got pom poms and city councilmen and county putting. They didn't answer. Did you? Were there questions from the press yesterday?
They had. I think didn't they have questions after the live stream? They had questions for the media.
I don't know if they did or not, but
I don't think those types of questions were asked. But I want to believe this is going to get done. I want to. I'm optimistic about, hey, this is actually going to happen, and we'll have a nice shiny new stadium. Obviously, and JP, I'm with you on the spectrum. Is yes, this should have been over in the Tampa side instead of St. Pete, but. Look, if they're looking to build up the area that they want to have this, the stadium and have everything built up and have new, businesses and new hotels and all this thing where this is going to be like a hub, kind of like Sparkman Wharf-esque. Yeah. That's what I'm hoping because, I think, the area needs it. I mean, obviously it needs to be cleaned up a little bit. That area around the Trop it's a young spot. I mean, I go there all the time. I mean, I'll actually be there on Saturday in a suite at the Trop to watch the Rays play. So, yeah.
Right. So your neck exercises, by the way, because when you go when you go to a suite, your chair's pointed out the outfield, so you got sit like this the
Still
whole
like
time.
sideways and everything.
Okay,
I got you.
Very well designed.
So yeah, I know you wanted to have a debate with me, but I'm on the spectrum. Look, I want to believe this until an actual shovel goes into the ground and then we start building, because we've heard this stuff all before. Obviously, there's been the dumb Montreal thing. We've thought we were going to have a stadium with. I love how Stu likes to make jokes before his actual announcement, which is like, dude,
he's got to deflect, bro.
I
mean, he's got to deflect.
And
he's got jokes.
I believe.
You put us through hell for 10 years.
And
that's awesome, dude. Yeah.
My co-host and I we talked about this before. Is like, could this be his swan song before selling the team after the stadium gets built? And hey, I want to be involved. And I think we had James Ludeman on the show last night too, and he kind of brought the point. It's like, now all of a sudden he wants to be all entrenched in the community when before he wasn't in all the community before. So
I wonder why. Why do you think that is?
Money.
Oh,
money.
They're going to give me $600
million. Money.
These rubes are going to give me $600 million, and then I can get the hell out of town.
JP, I wanted to ask you. It's a funny thing how the Rays want to pay $700 million for this $1.3 billion thing that they're going to be doing. Why didn't they want to come up with the money before when the Ybor site, which was less money, by the way,
lot less
money, and they didn't want to pony up with the money but opposed to now where they're going to be paying a lot more. Now they're committed to paying $700 million. There's so many questions that
I've got all the answers for you if you want to hear them.
I would love to hear them.
I want to say something really quick. I think it's the redevelopment. I think you're going to get the redevelopment. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. That's what it's always been about.
Yeah.
Stu knew from the very beginning that the deal in St. Petersburg was going to be a better deal up front. Right. Yeah. It's all, and this is the whole thing. I want people to kind of look at it. And again, I don't have anything personal against Stu. I don't. I'm just trying to protect. No, I swear to you. I shook his hand at the game I went to last night. I said, great job with the $10 tickets. Finally, appreciate it. So look,
remember, my enemy of my enemy is also my friend.
Yeah, I don't like the way he's treated the people. And I don't, and I try to keep it to the way he's run the franchise. And I think it's been duplicitous. It's been, listen, I know people, I've talked to people that have done these negotiations face to face with him. He's not a straight shooter. And look at the damn lawsuit. For God's sakes, those are his partners. Look how he screwed those people over. They asked him, how much are you paying yourself, Stu? Oh, I don't have to tell you. How much are you paying Brian Hall? Oh, I don't have to tell you. Oh, really? We're your partners. What about that $500 million or the $400 million you just got from the Fox Sports deal, the regional sports network? Are you going to keep all that? Oh, yeah, I'm going to keep that to run the club. You're not getting any of it. But by the way, you have to pay taxes on it. What? Yeah, sure. They will give him what about the annual report you're supposed to send us? Oh, yeah, you're not going to see that. Really? Yeah, you don't get that. Why not? We're your partners. Screw you.
Okay. Yeah, I know.
And St. Petersburg wants to do business with this guy. Okay,
well,
fine.
They're in bed with him now, so they're kind of happy.
Yeah. So, they're not yet, but
it's true.
And maybe some of those county commissioners in St. Peter. I want to ask these people straight up. Hopefully they'll come on my show and like, have you read the lawsuit? Mm-hmm. You're about to give $300 million to this business person. Have you read the lawsuit from his partners? I want to know. Have they? They probably should. They probably should do their due diligence. There's so many questions, but the reason why he didn't want to go for it then is because he didn't want to pay half the price. He didn't want to have to come out of his own pocket to pay half the price. He wanted Hillsborough County to pay 90% of it. And when they said, nah, we're not going to do that, he took his ball and he ran home.
Yeah.
And then he came up with this cockamamie sister city idea. And one of the great Stu moves of all time is so like Fauci of him to do this too. He goes and gets all of these, the Better Business Bureau of Tampa, the Chamber of Tampa, to sign on to this document, right? That says, hey, we support the sister city idea. And they're like, half of these people never even saw the document, never even saw it, but they were like, hey, we're going to move out of town or do the sister city. Are you with us? And they were like, well, if you're going to move out of town, half's better than nothing. Sure, I'll sign it. Complete false narrative. So all these people, and then they get put on Front Street because they signed this deal basically selling out their own city and got so much crap for it. And they're like, well, we never even saw the document. No. I'm like, such a Stu thing to do. And it's people, and it's not personal. He did that. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm just giving you the information. This is the person you want to go into business with. and you think this deal is going to work out well for you. I mean, there's so much in the development. How much is he paying for the land? How much is Hines paying for the land for the 87 acres of downtown? How much of this is actually going for affordable housing? Who's paying for the affordable housing? Are the people, we're going to put affordable housing all around a stadium? What does affordable housing look like after about 5 years of people living in it? Have you seen some of these projects, folks?
Right.
Not too good.
Right.
And that's going to be right next door to your pretty stadium. I mean, there's so many questions that I have. And basically people are just, they don't care about any of it. They're just, it's over. Stadium saga's over.
And
they're going to stay here. They were never leaving. They were never leaving.
I'm in that category too, where I've said this plenty of times on past shows. And I think probably I've said it on your show too, is look, I'm to the point where I just want something like done. Like right. I knew the team was never going to. Yeah, exactly. And I knew the team was never going to leave. It was like, look, let's just get something done. If it's going to be in Tampa, fine. If it's going to be in St. Pete, fine. That's a closer drive for me anyways. I just want something done where we're done talking about this every single year where it's a broken record. And each year, and obviously this has kind of been like the most, I would say, no pun intended, but concrete thing that we've really kind of seen about a stadium possibly getting built. So, it gives fans hope that it's going to happen. But like I said, I just want something done because I'm done. I'm tired of talking about it. I'm tired of seeing all the comments on Twitter and Facebook about,
me too, bro.
Your team not, even if you have it in St. Pete, nobody's going to go. It's like, well, look, listen, you're talking about something that hasn't been done yet. It hasn't been built.
We don't know for sure.
Exactly. So either way, like, let's just get the ground broken, get it built. And look, we're so many years away from it. We don't even know how it's going to be. And listen, the renderings could change. I love the fact that the stadium has a pointy roof because it reminds me of a scene out of The Dictator with Sacha Baron Cohen where why does it have to be round? Can't it be pointy? It's more scarier when it is pointy, not when it is round. But Supreme Leader, it does not matter if it's pointy or round. High five. We had the same impact. So it's kind of fun. We had a pointy roof. But, the stadium is beautiful inside. But I think we're all, as Rays fans, I think
pretty pictures.
It is now the time, especially with the way the area is being brought up, and you have newer generations of Rays fans coming to the games, and we've seen the attendance go up this past year as well.
My friend Nick Addis was so smart to point out that whole Braves series was nothing but people wearing Braves, young people wearing Braves gear. They were not wearing Rays gear.
Well, maybe he was sitting in the wrong spot. So, and it was on a week. Look,
I went to every bar in St. Petersburg afterwards. I think he did a lot of research.
But look, I think we're at a point too where the area of that area is getting younger too as well, and you got more and more businesses going in there. It's having a shiny new toy for a team that if they're signing a lease for the next 30 years, good. Let's have something concrete and finalized. That way, we can just not talk about this anymore. And
so in essence, your argument is like many others that I don't want to talk about the specifics. I'm just tired of talking about it.
Yeah.
So let's get it done.
Let's just get it done. Yeah.
And you think that's a good reason to get it done. It doesn't matter how shitty the deal is, no matter how bad, we're just tired of talking about it. Let's just get it done. This is exactly what these billionaires get you.
And you know what?
And Stu has played this out so long that he knew this would be part of the deal. So everybody will be tired of it, and we'll get some people in, not like Kreisman, not like Foster, not like these other ones that are really going to protect the city's interest. And I don't mean anything disparaging against Mayor Welch, but he's got somebody who that's going to just go all in with him and give him whatever the hell he wants. And I saw how that turned out in Miami. It was ugly. And they sit there now.
I hope it doesn't happen like it did in Miami. And JP, look, I'm the type of guy where I like baseball and barbecues. I just want to go to a spot where I can enjoy a game. And if it's a bad business deal,
it's not your money.
It's not my money, and I could care less. I just want a place where I can watch.
Not your tax money. You live in Bradenton.
I live in Manatee County. It's not my tax. Oh, sorry, Pinellas. It's not my tax dollars. I'm in Manatee County.
So your argument is I'm tired of talking about it. It ain't my own money.
It's not my money. It's at the end of the day. It's not my money.
Just give Stu a blank check so he'll stop. effing winless.
Yeah.
I get a shiny new toy.
Yeah,
it's gonna be empty.
That's all I care
for
about. Is a
27
shiny
years.
new, yeah, that's all I care about. I want a shiny new toy where our team, which is look,
You know what? God bless your honesty, Bushman. God bless you. You're just like, F it. It ain't my money. It's
not my money.
Let's stop talking about it. Let's just build the damn thing.
I'm not
shut up, JP.
I'm not signing the checks, and I'm not, I'm not doing that. I'm a fan.
Cheers, brother.
And I'm also in this media space where we can talk about the team that we like to support. And if
man.
Look, JP, and I also too. Look, there's going to be bad business deals no matter what sports franchise.
Yes, there's going to be bad tax money. We're going to spend it on something crappy anyway. So spend it on something I like.
This is America. This is it. America's all about shady deals under the table, anyways. So I'm just.
You know what? You made me feel so much better. Thank you.
I didn't want to come
here. I'm sitting here trying to make all these great cogent arguments about finances and trying to warn people about bad tax money deals and billionaires ripping off the public and and all this really stupid stuff that's going to happen anyway. So just shut the fuck up. Build the goddamn thing. Let the damn billionaire walk. Some billionaire is going to screw us anyway. At least I get a shiny new toy.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. But
I'm going to go and pay my
$15.
I'm going to go and pay my $15 per IPA, and I'm going to enjoy my overpriced hot dogs and nachos, and I'm going to pay X amount of dollars to go buy the merchandise at the store after I've had a few IPAs, which I've done before. But I just
get that $75 hat on your head. Is that what that is?
No, this is actually $20. So I'm pretty happy with paying $20 for that. But I mean, I wanted to come on here. I didn't want to debate with you. I just kind of want to be like, look, it is what it is.
God bless you.
Taxpayers are going to pay X amount of dollars for whatever happens with the deals, whatever's finalized. I think I wouldn't say majority of Rays fans, but I think we're all just to the point where get the deal done, get a stadium, and a story. And we just want to go. We want to go to a place where we can bring our kids, where it's going to be really cool to go to. Like, not only is it going to be a fan experience, but it's going to be a fan experience for everybody that's going there. I like the fact that they're including, like, hey, we're not only going to have baseball games here too. We're going to have concerts. We're going to have, a lot of community stuff going along there too. And I think that's they had a plan like a while ago with one of the renderings is, look, we're making this as a hub for a lot of other things to happen when there's not baseball happening.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I mean, I'm excited for it. Hopefully this gets done by, the end of this year, and then they can start breaking ground, and we can just, imagine in a few years we'll have a nice shiny little toy to go into and experience Rays baseball, man. It's going to be fun. I love the 3 tiers that they have in the outfield underneath the Let's Go Rays signs.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Like the renderings that they have, it's really going to be a cool experience to go there if this gets done, and that's the renderings that they're going to have for the ballpark. So I'm excited for it. I look, there's when there's business deals going on, when it involves billions and millions of dollars, there's going to be some shady stuff going on. But ultimately, I think a lot of people are just saying, look, let's get a stadium in there so this team is going to be in a great spot. Because look, there's lots of memories that we've had at Tropicana Field. But I think now is the time to have this team into a new facility where, they'll be there for the next X amount of years. So,
and you can invest in the team. That's what you hope for. You can invest in the team. You can spend money. We don't have to have this conversation.
Yeah, how'd that work out for his other partners?
Hey, JP, if they want to get in bed with
an investor too,
if they want
over, and I'm not living it either.
If they want to get into bed with a shady snake oil salesman, that's their prerogative and that's their money. Look, I don't have the millions and billions of dollars to do that, so it's not. I don't care.
Big money problems, baby.
Yeah, if they want to make bad business deals, that's on their end. So not my problem.
I thank you for bringing a refreshing viewpoint to this, man. And just God bless you, bro.
You're welcome.
Now let's talk turkey.
Yeah.
What the F happened on Saturday and Sunday? And I'm the biggest Tyler Glasnow fan there is, because I love watching pitch, and he's the coolest mother effer I've ever met in my life.
He's got great hair too, by the way.
Dude, 6 foot 8, gorgeous dude, super smart, throws 1,000 miles an hour, makes gazillions of dollars. But bro, that was an effing playoff game on Saturday, and you completely shit the bed. What the hell?
I thought that was going to be a lock for
Peter just can't resist.
I know he loves that fart button. I don't really have an explanation for that, man. It's one of those games where it's hey, you're our ace now.
Yes,
McClanahan is
we're paying you $5 million a year for God's
exactly.
sakes.
So it's one of those times where you think, hey, we've got our ace on the mound and we're going to probably get a win out of this. And it just, Peter, do the fart thing again.
Yeah.
And that happens. So, yeah, I don't really have an explanation for that. I mean, I know there's it's almost like why? Like, we could have taken 3 out of the 4. And look, there should have been a possibility of a 4-game sweep. We could have swept them, and we could have had the tiebreaker for if they tied at the end of the season. Peter, you said this.
I will point out that we didn't score any runs that day either.
Right.
So he could have pitched his ass off, and it wouldn't have mattered.
Right.
There's that.
The Sunday game is no excuse. We could have won that game.
Was a complete choke job
3 times. Yeah. So it's one of those things where, look, Baltimore is a really good team.
They are.
It's going to be hard to catch them, and I don't think it's going to happen. And if we have to take the wild card, we'll take the wild card, and that's fine with me. But I think with the way this team is now, the way they're playing as this, it reminds me of the way they were playing in the first couple months, where they were just being hot, being streaky. And I've said this before. It's like, look, you're going to have those times during the year where teams are going to have that rut, and they had that rut, and that rut is over with, and guys are getting hot again. Rosarena's being great at the plate. He's starting to be like playoff Randy now. Brandon Lau's producing at the plate, and a lot of the younger guys that are coming up Basabe's doing great as well. Curtis Meade, this is where you're going to separate the teams that are going to go deep into the playoffs, and I think the Rays are going to do that. Obviously, we're probably going to have to face Baltimore again in the division series, which to me, that I'm fine with that. I want to play the best. If you're going to be the World Series champion, I want to play the best. And right now, the Rays and the Orioles are the 2 best teams in the American League, and I want to see that happen. So, coming up, it should be a cakewalk the rest of the way for the rest of the last week and a half of the season. So if we don't, obviously we're probably going to lose maybe 1 or 2, but the rest of the way it should be pretty smooth sailing going into the playoffs. So.
Well, Toronto's still fighting for their playoff lives, are they not?
They are, but I don't think it's gonna. I mean, maybe it'll happen. I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
Well, we got to win what? We got to make up 3 games in essence.
In essence, 3 games, yeah. But with
11,
the way Baltimore's been playing, and they took it to Houston. I mean, it's gonna be tough, man. Like even without their best closer, Felix Bautista. I mean, it's like, man, these guys are still stepping it up and winning games for the Orioles. Man.
Yeah, but they're wearing down too. That bullpen's going to be worn down.
Their offense, though, they've got a lot of great talent. A lot of those prospects just come up, they've instantly made an impact too as well. So I want Baltimore. I want Baltimore in the playoffs, and I know we can beat them in the playoffs. So that's what I want to see.
I think we can too.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll see. And I think Jared Carrabis from Barstool coined his nickname is they call Tyler Glasnow the sex god on Twitter. So hopefully we'll see the sex god on the mound if we play the Orioles in the division series. I don't know where the name came from. You have to ask Jared Carrabis. I don't know.
Cillian Murphy, Oppenheimer. I mean, that's his doppelganger right there.
Did you see the interview with him with Cillian Murphy where they showed him a picture of Glasnow and he goes, "Oh, he does look kind of like me." He's like, "Yeah, I've actually heard about this where there's a ball player that looks exactly like me." So he knows who Tyler Glasnow is. Kind of fun.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. I'd like to get those 2 guys on a podcast. That would be interesting.
It'd be kind of fun if we pull the old switcheroo. Like you have Cillian Murphy go down in the clubhouse and just dress like Glasnow for just kind of pre-interviews, and then have Glasnow like switch out. That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, I don't think he's 6'8" though.
Yeah, actors are usually like 5'5" or 5'6".
Even our local media might figure that out. They might investigate. Nah, they probably wouldn't.
Maybe Tom Cruise. He may have those.
Stu told me that that's him, so I'm just gonna believe it. I'm sorry.
You guys should just go out for tea or coffee.
No
wonder
I'm so hated in the marketplace.
Write it down.
Write it down.
People are so thin-skinned. My God, they take shots at me all the time. I laugh, and they're like, "Oh my God, you hear what JP said about me?"
I said, write it down.
JP, Peter, let me ask you both.
Yeah,
I'll ask you first, Peter. Like percentage-wise, do you think this is like a legit thing? We're gonna get a stadium, and the deal will be done soon, and then we'll break ground. Like, what's your percentage?
I'm going to say
90%.
I'm going to say 90%, right?
90%? Okay.
90% it's done unless Major League Baseball steps in and says, you know what? We don't like this area. We don't like this deal. We're not getting enough money out of the deal.
Mm-hmm.
The other owners are not getting enough money out of the deal. Then it could be crushed. But I think this
I think Peter has hit on something. There's a couple flies in the ointment.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, the sale of the team. It's my information that the people that are trying to buy this team do not want this, obviously, not want the St. Petersburg situation, because Stu's going to take the money out of that for himself. He's got the development rights. He owns all that stuff. He's the one holding all the cards, right? So they know that they're going to be left with a team with a crap ton of debt. He took all that money up front for the regional TV deal. For the first 7 years or 8 years. So there's still probably 3 or 4 more years on that new ownership's not going to get that money unless he bequeaths it to him, which of course that ain't going to happen. So there's a lot of issues with that, right? So the whoever's going to buy this team, and I do think they're going to buy it.
Mm-hmm.
How does that work with the stadium deal? Do they really want it? Because, whoever owns the team is really holding the cards.
Yeah, they can do whatever they want.
And Major League Baseball has to sign off on this as well. I don't know. I haven't, I've been consuming a lot of media. Have you heard from the commissioner at all? I think we're going to run over a little bit here, but
I don't think we've had any kind of statement from Rob Manclown.
Interesting.
We haven't had any kind of statement from Manclown.
Very interesting. No statement from Major League. Like, this is to me that normally, like when the A's deal went down, commissioner was front and center, was he not?
Right.
This deal goes down, and where's the commish?
Right.
Where's Major League Baseball? Where are the other owners? Which is shit. I mean, this has been a saga for decades that we finally get the deal done. This opens the door for expansion, right? Now we figured out Tampa, and so there should be this cacophony of attaboys from Major League Baseball. Where is it?
I was wondering that too. I never got any kind of alerts from ESPN or Bleacher or anything on Twitter about any kind of statement coming from Major League Baseball or Rob Manfred. It was weird. It's like, okay, there's a huge stadium announcement. The team's going to be staying in the area, and we've got crickets from Major League Baseball.
Interesting.
It's very weird, but like when the A's announced they're moving to Las Vegas, it's Rob Manfred's front and center. Hey, this is great. They're going to be moving, and now it's just it's back.
Okay, so that's one. So that's one thing and I know for a fact that Major League Baseball does not want this stadium in St. Petersburg. But Bud Selig didn't want it here. The other owners don't. Everybody is on record and off record saying absolutely no way are we going to allow that stadium to be built in St. Petersburg, because that means they have to keep giving revenue sharing money to the Rays because the attendance is not, we don't think is going to be. But the Major League Baseball has a rule. You cannot build a stadium. Like, you cannot. You're not allowed to. We will not sign off on any stadium that has less than 1.3 or 1.5 million people within a 30-minute radius. This just in, St. Pete ain't got that. Even with everybody says, oh, there's new buildings, there's new everything. At most, you're still going to get 700,000 people, folks. It's not going to be, 2.4 million. Maybe 750 you cram them in even more there. Well, I don't know, but it's not going to be even close to what is a minimum. So where is Major League Baseball on this? They got to sign off on this. Okay, now, and the lawsuit now has can kick back. And I know nobody's covering this. Nobody in the media is covering this. The biggest public money giveaway in history to a man that's being invested for fraud by and nobody's covering this. Interesting. And certainly the politicians don't want anybody to cover it. Maybe that's why the timing of the announcement. But nobody's covering that. That is now going to open up Major League Baseball, and I think this is why Manfred's is not out there saying anything. He's going to be brought in for depositions. Now he's going to be brought in and have his emails searched, because this is all now on the table. Discovery, it's all there. There's no way Major League Baseball is going to let that happen. They're going to tell Stu right away, you better settle that thing. You better get that thing. I don't care what it effing costs. You better settle that thing. So, this is a big time fly in the ointment, folks. You want to know what scares the hell out of Major League Baseball? It's litigation. That's the reason we got a team in the first place, because Manoa Moley's going to win his lawsuit against Major League Baseball for screwing him over. So that's how they settled. Okay, shut up. We'll give you the team, big man. I mean, they do not play. You think these other owners and the commissioner wants to get hauled into court because of Stu Sternberg? Hell effing no.
I have a prediction for you, and I wanted you to answer my question about what your percentage is to see if this is going to get done or not. But I have a prediction that we'll have more about the finalization of the deal probably during playoffs. Something will come out about, okay, it's going to get done. Things are going to be signed, sealed, and delivered. I think that's what's going to happen because breaking news likes to happen during the playoffs. So
I think Stu wants to ram this thing through as fast as he possibly can and get everything signed, sealed, and delivered as fast as he can before anybody knows any of the details. You know, that's how they got it done in Miami. And then, of course, an SEC investigation followed. It was corrupt, the whole damn thing. But this is what politicians do. And I'm not casting aspersions against the mayor or any of these politicians in general. I'm just saying this is what historically happens when these things happen quickly and they don't put it up for a vote. I was just going back and forth with Paul Delgado from Channel 13. He's like, you think that the vote would pass in Tampa? I don't know. Probably not. Do you think it would pass in Pinellas? Hell no. Yeah. Hell no, it wouldn't pass in Pinellas. With all the retirees and all the low-income people in Pinellas who aren't going to see a dime from this, no. You know, because there's going to be 850 affordable units. That's going to make a difference for our housing and homeless problem. Most of the people ain't going to see a dime of that stuff. So, this is how these things happen. And I'm trying to just sound the alarm. Like, before we do this, folks, can we just kind of look at the numbers and the details and what exactly is going to happen here? So from a percentage standpoint, historically, these things haven't gone through. But here's the thing. Apparently, from all the pom-poms that the county commissioners and city councilmen had yesterday, I clearly, I guess, have not. I don't know. Have they seen the numbers? Have they seen the deal? I don't know.
I don't. Nobody knows.
If they have, it should be public record, and we should all see it. They've been briefed on it, right? They've had conversations one-on-ones to keep it out of the public realm. Another reason why are you doing that? Why are you keeping it so secret? It's like there's a lot of red flags here, people, but we're like, let's go. I'm tired of talking about it. A lot of red flags. So I can't put a percentage on it because if there's politicians,
come on, give me something.
If there's politicians that are ready to just rubber stamp that crap and don't care, which clearly there are, then logic gets thrown out the window. I still think it's probably all right. You're going to put me on the fence. Put me on. I will say, and I'll never be on the fence. You know that. I'm going to say it's probably 70%.
Okay,
70% because of the.
That's a lot higher than I expected from you.
Yeah, so because I know the politicians are willing to do whatever they can to get money and save their hide or whatever they see as the benefit to this. So yeah, I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
But I will say this, and I want the USF fans and students to understand, because I understand a lot of them were not in class this day. It must have been a Friday and the weather was good. 90% and 70% are not 100%. Okay. Just a little math thing there.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right. Let's. Anything else you got for us here, partner?
Yeah, I was gonna say, what would you name the new stadium? I like the Publix Field. I like Publix Field because then you can put a Publix kiosk inside the stadium and they can serve pub subs during.
I think Stu already has a name.
Does he? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes. It's the JP can kiss my ass. I effing got it built. So screw you, Dome. I'm not sure what the acronym is on that, but yeah,
I couldn't tell you.
I think that's what I'm going with.
Saturday should be fun for me. They're going to unveil the Evan Longoria statues, and I think the Aki statue too as well.
Nice. Great stuff.
I'll take some pictures for you guys.
A homage to our past, which is something I'm really happy that they finally started to recognize, and I think the fans are loving it. They've done a lot of good stuff this year for the fans, and I appreciate that. And I'm sure they had to lock Stu in a closet to get all that past. So great job. And to go hire somebody from the Lightning to market their team because clearly they weren't doing it. All right, thanks for coming on, brother. Appreciate it. Thanks for bringing that fun perspective. That was awesome, and now I know why everybody's so happy about it. So thanks, buddy. All right, we went way over today, but that's okay. You guys got bonus time, and you didn't even pay for it.
Yeah.
Good job, Peter. We will be again at the patio tomorrow night, 5 to 7 o'clock for happy hour, and get ready for Thursday night football. I don't even know who's playing tomorrow night.
Who is
figure it
playing
out.
nights? Yeah,
Not the Bucs. So
No.
we have Thursday night football tomorrow night. We'll be there. Always the best place to watch football is the patio beneath the palm trees and the stars. Really cool outside area there. They got an inside area as well. So come down and join us tomorrow at the patio from 5 to 7 o'clock. We'll see you tomorrow. Go Rays.